Hi everyone, this is Dee. I thought I'd do a video on some of my embroidery and slow stitch booklets, maybe to give you some ideas, and some can be put in your journal and so forth. So I've made 3 booklets. I've actually made, I think, 5, and 2 were gifted. But these are the 3 that I kept. This is my very first one. I thought I would try it and see how it turned out. It's made with a Tim Holtz fabric journal. And then these 2 are from the Fabric Path, Melissa. So I like to just share these. I'm hoping the video's not too long. If it is, I'll do it in 2 parts. But let me give you some ideas and show you the embroidery. Here's one that I did. I had a lot of time on my hands last year and early part of this year. So these kits came off of Amazon. Very simple, very quick. And I coffee dyed this one. My girlfriend did one, and I was afraid it might wreck the stitching. But it didn't. Just like when you wash these, it just stays perfect. The reason why I coffee dyed this one is the red and the orange had bled, and this was pure white, like this. So I coffee dyed it, and I actually like it. It kind of muted down the colors. I'm not really sure what I'm going to use it for. It can, you know, maybe work into be a cover for a journal or something, but I like it, and it's just something to have and keep. So that's this piece. I'll quickly go over these. This is another one that I did. So again, these were very easy kits. They're very inexpensive off of Amazon, and they're just kind of fun to do. I also got these off Amazon. I did one of these for my sister. She really liked this, so I did one for my sister. And these are great. They're very small, but they're great to just add on a page, make a pocket. So that's why I got these. And again, I think they came 4 to a kit or something. And they're just very quick because they're so small. There's one that I cut getting ready to use. So that was this one. And then also what you can do too is just use kind of a back stitch. And I love this saying, always be on the lookout for the presence of wonder. I think it's E.B. White's quote. But I just fiddled with this one day, and it's fine. I can use it maybe in one of my journals. Let me go through this journal with you. This is my very first slow stitch book. I didn't know what I was doing. I just enjoyed it and found it relaxing. This was another time when I had a lot of time on my hands. But I'm just going to briefly go through this. I did it November 20th and finished it November 20, 2020. And it's just a sampler, leftover pieces, and practice stitches and that sort of thing. So I made this, and what I did was I made this cover, okay, and it fit perfect over the Tim Holtz fabric journal. And then what I did so that I can do the backs of it, I got muslin like this one, because this is all stitched behind this, and so this kind of hides that. So I did that throughout this book. So this is actually pieces of the embroidery. I didn't have any fabric at the time, so I just made do with what I had and just practiced stitching and so forth. This is a snippet. I did not make it. This I purchased, but I loved it, so I thought I'll put it in. I didn't know at the time what I was going to do with this book. Same with this. This came as a freebie thank you gift along with this slow stitch. So I just put a few things on. I did some embroidery here on the leaves. I did some French knots. The butterfly was already on it. Excuse me. So here's some others. And again, this is just scrap or water thread. This was also something that was gifted, so I like that. This was from one of my very first kits from Melissa at the Fabric Path. It was very country. I liked it. A lot of reds and everything. So here's a piece of ticking I just stuck in there because it just didn't go all the way to the center, and that kind of bugged me, so I just stuck that in there. Buttons, different stitches. And again, the backing is muslin because I stitched on one side and then the other side would have all that stitching, so I backed this slow stitch with muslin, and then I just gently sewed it on so you can't really see the stitching too much. This is a little Christmas one that I did, and this actually flips out. I added this piece. It was just muslin. I had made a pocket. Just something different I thought I'd try. So I think you're going to be able to tell that this is my very first book. But again, I like it. It's just a hodgepodge of things. Halloween. I like these yo-yos. I got the little plastic thing to make them, and I can't make them, so I actually purchased them. Melissa laughs at me because she sits there and she can make them all day long. But yeah, I find it a little difficult. Maybe if I keep doing it, I can master it. I think I did this one, but it just didn't turn out quite as well. Here's some more pieces of embroidery, and these are leftovers from the kit. And there's one of the embroideries. Made this a pocket because this I loved. I love this green. It was too long, so I just folded it over and I made a pocket here. So that's this one. I love this fabric. This is from Melissa at the Fabric Path. I talk about her a lot, but I bought a lot from her, and she does everything so well. So that's another reason. This is a wool felted book that Melissa makes. Okay. I just kind of designed this. And that's what, let me see real quick. I don't have a booklet of unfinished one of this. I've got one somewhere, but anyway, it's just beautiful, beautiful wool felt. It's heavy. It's got really good body to it. So I just started slow stitching again, different stitches, practicing, and a lot of this is from Melissa. She used to sell a scrap bag. I don't know if she still does, but I bought several of those. This would be a cute page if you just get a piece of felt and then you just sew this into the signature, and then just find something for the backing to hide your stitching. Unless you can stitch really pretty, then that could be a design in itself. Just added some beads. Did this little flip. This is a piece of paper. These are just strips of fabric, odds and ends. I love making these little fields of flowers. And that's that. Okay, so let me just show you this one. This book she calls the wonky book. And the reason why is she makes the pages all different sizes, and I love that. Here's the center, and she actually just runs a stitch down it. She has a beautiful industrial sewing machine, and I love this color. So she sells these in her shop, and they're called wonky journals. Here's another one I got. I just had to get this because look at this felt. It's beautiful. And look at the yellow. So I have ideas for this one, but I had to have this one. And like I said, the felt is just beautiful that she uses. So I encourage you to look at her shop. I'll once again try and link it. I'm not really too good yet about linking Etsy, but I'll try. And then she did this one that looks like a little photo album. This one is not a wonky. It's a, the pages are all even, except maybe it's a little short here. But, well, it is wonky, I guess. They're not all the same size, but it's beautiful. Kind of an eggplant color, so I have ideas for this also. But let me do this one. This one is the last one. This is the wonky one. I did this cover. And the reason partly why I did it was the stitching would show through. So I needed to cover that. Because this one, I did not do a backing of muslin. I just sewed right onto the wool. And so the stitching would show on the outside. So I just covered it with all the cotton doilies and buttons and so forth. This was a lot faster, less pages because of it. So I got inspired with a button flower garden from Pam at Pandora's Journals. I love that. So I thought I'd try it, and it didn't turn out too bad. Here's another page. And what I did with this one is I just took 2 pages. So I stitched on this side, and then I sandwiched the 2 together. So I didn't have to worry about doing a separate page for each side. I just sandwiched it, and again, less pages. It went a lot faster, and I don't really mind that. So that's how that was done. Same with this one. Sandwiched 2 pages together. Pretty simple. Like the fringe. Some of the trim I had. Some came in Melissa's kits. And this has a little owl charm I put in the middle. Melissa and I worked on this. I don't think she has it in her shop. The engineering of it in a kit, I don't know, what she's thinking of it, but I had this idea of a zipper to put in my journal, and then we thought about putting it in a slow stitch book. So I sewed a zipper in. This unzips, and then it reveals a little fairy picture. It is printed on like canvas. I got it off Etsy, but I thought that was real cute. So it closes back up. It zips back up, and the key just hangs. And that's the end of this one. So these were fun. Melissa does some exceptional work on her felted journals. Her packets are wonderful. I think I mentioned that before in an earlier video that I did. Here's one that I started. It's a little bit thinner wool, but I like it because I was going to do fall. Didn't get too far on it. I have so many other things that I want to do. That just gives you an idea. Just, it's roughly done. I just kind of gently glue the fabric together to get an idea and a placement and everything. I love these fairy fabrics. So she was too big, so I actually cut her, and I may just piece it back together to make it smaller. You won't be able to tell. You might see the stitching, but I'll just stitch all over it. Here's another one of my little embroideries, and I coffee dyed it. So I thought that would fit good in here. So that just gives you some ideas. Like I said, it's a lot of fun, and as I slow stitch and I have a scrap, just like junk journaling, I'll throw it in a box, and then I'll go through it and do a book or something with it. That's all I have to share. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope I inspired you. Thanks for watching.